Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. We're James with Games. Hello, folks. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is well out there. Just taking a look here. Is everything okay? You'd think I would get in the habit of checking if my microphone was doing the thing before we start, but I don't. But I check now, and it looks like it's okay. So here we are. Episode 23 of our Ultima VII, The Black Gate Let's Play. This is, if you'll pardon the pun, the ultimate episode of our Let's Play. Ho ho ho. Yeah, because this is it. We beat the game last week. Now it's just time to screw around a little. For my own part, I don't know how much effort I'll put in, but... And, oh, by the way, hello, Cedric. I'm glad you're here. For my own part, there's a couple of side quests that I can remember that are lingering that I didn't solve that maybe I'll nudge at. I don't know. I'm not as invested in them as I was in the Owen the Shipwright side quest. But I might check out whatever it was going on in Jalome with the duel. Is there anything I can do there? And separately, is there anything I can do about the planned sabotage of the gargoyle shrines in Terfin? Maybe. Mess around a little. If it doesn't, come to me real quick, probably won't go in too hard. And then, we have a very important task. We have to push the big red button. We have to do the thing that nobody should ever do. We have to cast the 8th circle spell, Armageddon, or, as it's properly known, Vas Kal Mani in Corp Hur Tym. Which, hold on. I can mostly, with the shorter spell names, I can work with the Ultima syllables. But, okay, I mean, Vas is a lot. Kal is summon. Okay, so summon a great negation of life. And make, what's her? Make wind for all time? Hey, British. Something like that. That's a great question, British. And I will ponder that as we go here. I should fire up here. And we'll get started. We have the anti-life equation. Well, we don't have it yet, but we're going to track it down. We're going to see who knows the anti-life equation. And then we're going to punch it into our pocket calculator, and we're going to see what happens. Apparently, it's going to involve some wins. Summon the vast negation of all life to the winds of time. Something like that is what it's supposed to mean. We'll see if there's any literal wind involved. All that I know for sure, because I know a little bit for sure, is that the Armageddon spell originated... Oh dear! I did not turn the soundtrack down in the mix. There we go. What I do know is this. Number 1. Wait, what's number 1? Number 1. What are the things I know? Oh man, the Armageddon spell was introduced in Ultima VI, the False Prophet. I never cast it there because I had already read about what it did, and it just didn't sound worth. I didn't think I cared to do it. Basically, in Ultima VI, if you cast the Armageddon spell, all the NPCs vanish. Except Lord British, of course, who is exceptionally immortal, but Lord British just locks up. He's just there. He doesn't say anything. And the other thing I know is that there's more to it in this. Which I assume at least means that post-apocalyptic Lord British will have some dialogue. I wonder if it will paint him in a better light than every other bit of dialogue he's had in Ultima 6 and 7. Okay. Are any of these save games before the confrontation? This one's not. This one's definitely not. What about this one? Great. We're somewhere at some point. That's really all we need. So let me get down to this. So yeah, what are my thoughts, having had a week to reflect on Ultima 7? I think while the general observation of it's a funny case of the game being objectively worse at core RPG elements than earlier Ultimas, and for that matter, objectively worse at core RPG elements than many other RPGs, it remains a great game, partially due to things about it that are kind of innately Ultima, or at least innately Ultimas 4 onward, like the Britannians themselves, the experience of talking to them, the fact that, the structure of the game doesn't change that much between 4 and 7 in the sense that you're dropped into Britannia, there's a problem, it's up to you to fix it. There are some guidelines along the way that kind of steer you in one direction or another, but and much more so in this game. But no matter what way you do it, you can actually, you're just kind of mill about until you figure it out. You can go in many directions. It's open world. It's all that. So while I do think that general observation is sound and holds true, I don't know that I would go so far as to say that it is... No, I think I might have been a bit too harsh in the sense that some of the RPG elements actually are still there and they function. Character development feels less important because none of the other party members can even cast spells, so why do they have intelligence? And the combat is so random. And the... Okay, where am I going? Can I get back to my carpet? I'm not sure that I updated. In fact, I'm confident I did not, now that I think about it. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's go back. Try one more thing to do this the easy way where I can recover the magic carpet. We can do this with the advantage of fast travel. And failing that, well, we'll bite the bullet. But okay, where am I? So I'm at the thrones of the changes. If I can make my way backwards to the Guardian's clever trap that sends me out while he laughs like a jerk. If I can make my way there, then we're okay. We're golden. So yeah, like their character development is a bit is like not super satisfying because are you kidding me? It's a body. Incredible. I think that's the first time one of those has done something. First time a kraken tentacle, a giant squid tentacle, has actually impacted me in this game. Okay. It's not that big a deal, the character development, because of the ways in which it's kind of downplayed by the de-emphasis of RPG elements to begin with. But what I think we ought to give it credit for is that it's still there, and it is still satisfying to, as the game goes on, acquire more equipment, get everybody kitted out, gradually get some of those stats up, at least to the point that you do feel a bit of a difference in combat. Like, the combat experience is largely just, oh wow, how about that? And then it's just over. But you do have more success with better stats. And so seeking those better stats is not nothing. and not nothing is something. So now I'm trying to go backwards through a stupid invisible wall maze thing. All for the benefit of having the Guardian cackle at me like he's Sideshow Bob, thinking that he did something clever. And hey, you know what? If you had a really big budget to remake Ultima 7 today, you could go worse. You could do a lot worse than getting Mr. Kelsey Grammer to be the voice of the Guardian. Huh? So, we gotta kill the congregation here again. So, knowing that everyone's all messed up, I guess I will. Or at least that it's possible for anyone to die right now. I'll do a little Vas money. Seems kind of wasteful given that we're going to obliterate them. But what can you do? Okay, come in here. Yeah, so there's just still satisfaction to be found in going through. The dungeons are mechanically very frustrating. And yet less mechanically frustrating than Ultima 6's dungeons, while still having the features that I liked about Ultima 6's dungeons. Personality, cool challenges, puzzles and stuff. The puzzles can be more frustrating here, for example, because you gotta get all these friggin' keys and try to keep them straight. If the dungeon relies on keys. Those kind of little niggling details. But the dungeons are still something. The magic system, all of the Ultima games have a magic system that is cooler than it needs to be for what you actually need to do with it. I think, oh, you laugh all you want. Listen to him. He thinks he's getting one over on me. Isn't gonna fit. Can I fit it if I just cut the phrase short? Wait. End of world as we know it. Jeez. If I go without spaces, I bet I can fit the phrase. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that was one thing that Ultima 7 absolutely lost. In Ultima 5, I didn't use a ton of combat magic, but the times I did, it was critical. Using a poison wind spell, I think I cast it once in my Ultima 5 playthrough, but it was in a battle where it was extremely helpful to do a lot of damage to a lot of enemies in a large area. I don't even know how to cast a combat spell in this game. And if I did, I'm almost certain and hello someone, by the way. I'm almost certain that the result would be killing my friends. What about this phrase? This is not going to fit. You know what? There's no one to melt with, so I can just cut the phrase short. I'll just stop the world melt. Great. If I have to, next time I'll update it, because that is better. I agree. So, yeah, there's still some RPG stuff that matters here. And, this is one of those shitty birds. Well, guess what? I can fly faster than you. And I can walk faster than you because my legs are longer. And if another human being steps on me, it might be uncomfortable, but I won't just literally be crushed like you would because I have stronger bones. Stupid bird. Okay. Wait. If one of the things I want to check out is... Actually, you know what? I do want to see if I can do anything with those side quests I mentioned. But let's get down to brass tacks first. I'm going to park the carpet. Wait, is this Terfin? I can figure that out when I come back. I think it is. I will park the carpet here, update the green runestone. Oh, Jonna, you're such a negative Nancy. Oh, now I have to get this shit from you, Spark. This one actually does look like it landed on a plant, and yet everyone's happy with it. Okay, fine. What do I know? I'm just the avatar of all virtue. So yeah, give it a little credit for maintaining some RPG elements that are integrated in a way that are fun. And then obviously, it, like I just said, it maintains the kind of real key to the Ultima experience, I think, which is a world that you go around in, largely at your own direction, slowly figuring out how to save it. And so that's very good. And then, as I've said again and again and again, a lot of the jankiness introduced is the result of ambition. And a lot of that ambition is admirable. You can mess... Like, I never baked bread. I don't think I'm going to bake bread today. I'm not even that interested in baking bread in real life. But it's cool that you... just knowing that you can is kind of cool. You know, the level of interactivity is really cool. The fact that, you know, if I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, Dupre. I'm sick of looking at your blinking hammer. We're throwing it on the ground. And then we came back here many game days later, just be sitting there blinking on the ground. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, trying to bake bread fast enough to keep up with the ravenous appetites of your companions. That would be, you'd practically be playing, Overcooked. I think I read someone that fishing is literally just bugged in this game. That you don't actually ever catch anything. The reason that I get that impression is that when I looked into the Ultima patcher to see if there was, what can I do to maybe smooth the experience a little without going all the way to Exalt, the Ultima 7 patch, in the Ultima 7 patcher, one of the main ones was make fishing work. Ah, okay. So perhaps that... Okay, so then maybe the bug is just fishing barely ever works. But it could. I did the mark, right? Yes. And I'm casting Recall now, right? I'm not actually sure. So we'll just be careful. The story is another thing. Oops, this is not what we're doing. Hopefully we don't shift position at all in the takeoff. Oh, or hopefully we just forget how to take off. What's the magic word again? What's the carpet word again? Really good story in many ways. I think there are some ways in which it falls a little short in execution. But I think a lot of the execution is excellent, and I think the underlying idea of the story is pretty great. I like, as troubling as it was to go around and be like, wow, Britannia sucks now. That is a cool story. The Avatar coming back and being like, hold on, wait, I've been gone 200 years this time, and everything sucks now. And it's like, well, hold on, I saved this place all those times and became like an exemplar of virtue. And this was the result? Oh, good. I'll take anything, any news that there's something to look forward to in Ultima 9. Since one day I am going to play it. From start to finish, without a walkthrough. No, Chuckles, I will not be playing the game with you. The most exciting thing to me, Chuckles, about, hold on. Can I tell him anything? No. Just like in Ultima 6, Lord British learns nothing as the story goes on. You can't fill him in. At the point of this save, we know Batlin is evil. We know the Fellowship is evil. We know the Fellowship is working for the Guardian. We know all that stuff. Lord British is still just puttering around his garden, mumbling about how great they are. So yeah, there's ways in which it's troubling to come back to a really crummy Britannia. Ah, okay. You know, I might have been able to figure that out if I didn't hate Chuckles so much. I didn't want to talk to him any more than I had to. But it threw me off because there's this thing that people do where they call it, they go, we're playing the game, but the goal of the game is just not to think about the fact that you're playing the game. And so whenever you remember the game, you're supposed to go, oh, I lost, and then see if it causes everyone else to remember this game that they have now lost. I don't know. So I was like, how would you do that in an Ultimate conversation? And then I was like, I hate Chuckles, and I don't want to speak to him anyway. Oh, wow. That's funny. Okay. I gotta put a pin in this for 1 second because I gotta run to the washroom. Why didn't I go before we left? And then I want to come back to this because there's something to be said here about the signposts the game puts for you and how you interact or don't with them. So hang tight, gang. I'll be right back. All right, we're back at it. So, two things about apparently beating Chuckles at his game to get the first major hint out of Britannia. First, the less important point, that even if he had given me that hint, I wouldn't have trusted him because in Ultima 6, one of the main, you start with 3 broad quest chains. One is, gotta free those shrines, Avatar. 2 is, we have half of a Gargish tablet. Maybe putting it together would tell us something about these gargoyles who took over the shrines. And 3 is, Chuckles says, you gotta go to a certain place and look in a certain place. And the Chuckles quest chain takes you all around the world looking in different places. Eventually has you breaking into the jail at you so that you can search beneath one of the beds in a solitary confinement cell. And it all comes around to finally saying, go to Elo's hut and talk to the friggin' horse. And then you go do that and you get the hint for Ultima 5 and how to beat it. It's a great gag, but it's so frustrating that if you give me a hint this time, I'd be like, no, Chuckles, I'm not falling for that. It might have made I would have taken much longer to beat the game Because I would be like, I'm not talking to the travelers in Minnock. That's just that's a red herring, sir. Nistel. Alright. Nistel. Just between you and me. Looking around. Is anybody listening? No, of course not. Lord British is out there. The guards don't know anything about this. I'm interested in an 8th circle spell. So. Well, like, sort of. Like, you're going in the right direction here. Like, I do want to cause a death vortex. And I do want to cause mass death. In a sense, I want to make everybody invisible. And there's even a sense in which I want to stop time. So close. Well, how about that? Maybe... No, I was going to say maybe the Avatar gave him a good talking to after Ultima 6. But no, because at the end of Ultima 6, just like Ultima 5 and Ultima 4, Lord British is just like, thanks for doing all that stuff for me. Zap! And sends you home to Earth. Alright. Well, thanks for nothing, Nistel. No, don't get snippy with me, pal. All I wanted... Oh, man. Oh, man. We gotta kill this guy now. No. I'm not getting into individual murders. Even if that guy did overhear me talking about how I want to buy the Armageddon spell. Let's go see if Rudium knows it. Seems even odds that it's actually... Nicodemus or the black market reagent seller that knows it, but Rudium's closest. And actually, you know what? We haven't said hello to the Avatar's true love, Nastasia, in a while, so I don't know that there's going to be anything new to say with her. Check it! Welcome! Yeah, the other thing about Chuckles and the quest line, and this is actually praise for the general Ultima quest design philosophy and its execution here in Ultima 7, is that I did not get that early clue to go and speak to the travelers in Minnock. I didn't get that clue at all. Instead, I got one clue that would have directed me towards Minnock that I misremembered because I completely forgot that there's an expansion pack, and so I took Lord British's, hey, you can have my ship, as it's docked in Vesper, the worst place in the world for some reason. I took that as just part of the game, and so that was going to send me towards Minnock anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna... Thanks, Shimino. We better just, not for any important reason. I just wanted to kiss you just once, just now, for now. And probably more later. Stibinsky! Oh, man. I had forgotten how good her lips feel against mine. Alright. That was terrific. I don't want to make Spark any more uncomfortable than he already is. I love you, my dear. Not enough to make me reconsider what I'm about to do. No, this is non-canon. We care about Nastasia. She's obviously a really good person. But nonetheless, she will be cast to the winds of time just like everybody else. Nothing I can do about that. I don't make the rules. Rudium. Remember how you used to just keep a live Drake in a cage, spewing fire at your customers? I was wondering if you're enough of a psychopath that you also... ... Looking for a spell. Yes, I do want to get a spell. I'm like, as you probably know, one of the best at magic, so probably the 8th circle. Oh, okay. Should we go in a back room for this, Rudium? 185 gold? I mean, yeah. Can't take it with you. Don't have enough gold. Foiled. Alright. That's okay. We have ways to deal with this, and we will. All right. Solve that mystery. So, now we have 3 tasks to do before the world ends. To perform before the world ends. Wait, we do need the bridge. The creek is just a little too deep. So yeah, the thing with quest design in Ultima is that you have a very clear overall goal. I'm the Avatar. I think my background has been checked pretty thoroughly. He knows he can trust me not to do anything rash. With the Armageddon spell that if cast a single time will end all life for all of time. But what makes like Ultima 4 through 7, what's so great about the quest design, it's kind of like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in that right at the start you are given, you get off of the tutorial plateau in Breath of the Wild and you touch down, and now your mission is destroy Ganon. Figure that out, please. And just like that, Ultima 4. You show up, make your way to Lord British, and he's like, hey, could you become the Avatar for me? Yeah, sure. In Ultima 5, you show up, Elo and Shimino are like, we got a bit of a dictatorship. Can we take that down? You're like, yeah, somehow, I guess. Ultima 6, you show up, and they're like, oh man, these gargoyles, we're pretty sure they're evil. Can you do something about that? You're like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And just like that, here you show up, and they don't know, like, they barely know what the quest is. They're like, there's some murders, can you solve them? But underneath it all, there's this guardian. He seems like bad news. These fellowship people seem like bad news. I gotta expose them, destroy them, bring them down. And then you just set out. And there are clues along the way. And there are things you must do along the way. But there are also clues that you could miss along the way. And the game will still accommodate it. That goes to such an extreme here in Ultima 7 because they also went to a much greater degree to create a quest that actually had a bit of like narrative happening during it, like some momentum in the quest. And so giving you that freedom resulted in situations like I woke up Penumbra. I woke Penumbra up. She's like, how did you know to wake me up? Was it the Time Lord or was it Nicodemus? Because actually it was a third thing. The townsfolk outside of her house were like, Avatar, she always said you'd wake her up. And yeah, I think it's noble of them that even as they tried to actually get a storyline that you play through going, not just a storyline that happens. Oh, wow. That is effective. That is almost exactly what I was thinking. Someone. I just wasn't even thinking about gambling anymore. I was thinking of just going in and stealing from the brothel. Oh, nice try, Tentacles. But you've already had your moment of glory today. When you killed Elo, left him face down in a pool of mucky water. But I do love gambling, so if I have the seed funds, let's do the cheating rather than the stealing. It's not even cheating. I mean, it's cheating in the like real broad way, where it's an unearned privilege that fellowship members probably shouldn't have. Okay, here we are. Make sure I have my horrible medallion on. The one that says everything that I don't believe in. Because ultimately, look, the people of this town, listen, I love this place, this Britannia, but the Britannians had their choice and they decided that they like the Fellowship better than they like Virtue, so If I'm going to stop the Fellowship, I think the most efficient way to do it is just to Armageddon, right? I think the logic there is pretty sound. Okay. Do we have money to just cheat at gambling here? I should not wear the Ankh while I'm doing what we're doing here. Feels dirty. Saramed, do you have any money on you? 8 coins? Come on, man. Oh, there we go. Okay. It'll take a little bit, but we'll get there. 36 coins. I may be an arts major, but I can do the math on this. I know my 9s times tables. Yeah, so the quest design is cool, even as it lets you kind of mess things up along the way. I have not yet read all of the CRPG Addict's posts from his Ultima 7 playthrough, but I've read quite a few of them. And he messed up the sequence in his own way because he decided to bolt his own... to go even further than I do in bolting unnecessary role-playing into his experience, because he decided that his avatar was so disgusted by how far Britannians had strayed from the virtues that he refused to join the Fellowship even as an undercover agent, because they're so obviously bad. And he set out to try to kind of make virtue great again by taking all the runes of virtue from the museum and then visiting the towns in the order of... There's some order to the virtues in Ultima 4. And in each town, trying to identify the townsperson who best embodied the virtue of that town, and then smuggle the rune of virtue into their belongings to credit them. And because he didn't join the Fellowship, it messed up the sequence a lot, and yet he beat the game. So you can really, you get some flexibility here. In Ultima 5, it's a much more straightforward quest than this in some ways. You have to do more work to uncover the different steps. Okay. What'd you say? There we go. All right. One of them won. Yes, there it is. The one thing that theoretically would restrict you. I think we're glitched, aren't we? I'm gambling, but it's not doing anything. Okay, fine. We'll steal. Yeah. And the rat that wins should wiggle his tail a little bit triumphantly at the end there, right? Do I need to stand closer to it? I don't know. Weird. We'll just steal. What the heck? Oh. Yeah, that adds up. It's daytime. It's not gambling time. Well, we'll go steal, and maybe we'll also cheat at the gambling on the way back through. It's the end of the world as we know it. Why not just go nuts? You solved the rattling conundrum. That's exciting, Stimpinski. What turned out to be the answer? Huh. Well, whatever. Just walk on them if you idiots. If you absolutely must. Yeah, in Ultima 5, I broke, or it's not really sequence, but one thing that I broke is that there's a subquest that kind of leads to your one big role-playing choice in the game, where you can you can join the oppression, And ultimately, the final task before they give you your badge is... Yeah, that makes sense. That adds up. Well done. Congratulations. Okay. So as I recall, I go this way, dragon's here, we kill it effortlessly, and then we have to teleport out, which is up here. Or do we walk through here? What's the way out here? Come on. Oh wow, they went too deep. They're like yeah, they're like Leo in The Departed. Oh. Come on, team. Kill the corpser. And everything else here. Alright, great. Let me get us some light back, team. I never did the oppression questline in Ultima 5 because the first step in the oppression questline is you talk to this surly blacksmith and he's like, I think it's great that the Blackthorn regime took over because now everybody's buying more weapons. Don't you agree? And every time he asked me that, I was like, no. I think it's bad that there's a dictatorship. And so I just never even got on the path. And yet, it turns out, well, if you get the badge of the oppression, you can walk into Blackthorn's castle, the guards won't try to stop you, and you can get Lord British's crown. You can also, if you're really patient and really careful, you can just avoid all the guards and get it anyway. So do it on hard mode. Do the pacifist run, so to speak. So it's been a thing, but it's especially a thing in this game. I agree with what you said a few minutes ago, British. I quite like how all the 4 through 7 Ultimas really have their own stories that all... Oh, no. Okay. No. We did not bring Spark this far just to not let him watch the world die. Ooh. Yes, I learned from the CRPG Addict comment section that in fact you can you get free light if you find a fire sword. I never found a fire sword. I found the Fire Doom staff, but that just sounded like a recipe for friendly fire. So we never wound up using it. I think this is the way. It's all good, team. Just run right through. Is this the way? Yeah, perhaps not. And you know what? That's true in real life. If I was throwing a party, I would not want to have anybody show up with a Fire Doom staff. No, don't worry about it, team. It's just a little fire. Whew. A minute ago they were headless. Now they're headless, legless, armless. Oh, it's just up here. Guess we'll find out. Wait, is this a thing? No? Okay. Who's up there shouting to battle? I don't know. Oh, come on. Well, worst case scenario, I just admit defeat, go back to town, the casino's open, we cheat at gambling. But hold on. I'm pretty sure I can find this. Found it once before. I know I'm in the right spot. General spot. Yeah, I like all the different themes of the stories of Ultimas 4 through 6 and the way that they elaborate on and play with. That's awesome. Emergent gameplay in a really, really messy, sub-optimized way, someone. The King of Birds. Is the King of Birds like a bird humanoid type character? Or a straight up just like big talking bird? Wish I'd signposted the secret way in. Ah well. Try one more time to find the way out, and then I will admit that this was foolish. And we'll go the other way. So, yeah, what I really like about the storyline here is that, among other things, I like getting a story that is actually... Oh, sweet. That helps. Thanks, Gazer. Here, Ceramide. This is way better than when they just turn into bugs. Yeah, like as soon as you read the manual even, you just get this cool sense of like, okay. Like for a while there, Batlin, you had me like invested in your story. His own personal story is cool, and it's like fun to read about his adventures in Britannia as he came to discover the Fellowship's philosophy within his own heart. And then there's just a few breadcrumbs to make you think that they're maybe not so good. And then the controversy through Britannia. Oh man. That's a major sacrifice. But I mean, I guess he did it for his loved ones. But that's real love. I love you so much. I'm doing this for you, even though it will cause me to no longer remember the love that I feel for you. And I will also be a bird. Which, I mean, you know, there are ups and downs to that. It's not all downside to be a bird. Excuse me, sir. No, you're not real. Was there a way out of here? There's a bed. The creepiest bed in the world. It's this pedestal. Huh. Yeah, I don't recall. I'm probably really close to it and just forgetting. Doesn't matter. We'll make our way back, which I know is also painful because I'm going to keep tripping over the... teleporter. The kind of letdown to with this story, I think there's a couple things that I think don't quite give you what you'd really like to get out of the story. One is that even though you're given the suspicion that the Fellowship is bad pretty early on, like if you read the manual carefully, it would still be nice. It would still be nice to actually... Oh. have a bit of mystery. I don't think the game wastes any time kind of just settling in your brain. Okay, not only are the Fellowship definitely bad, but they are definitely aligned with the Guardian. Okay, don't know if we can... We are good at killing him. But okay, how do we get back? Can we get back? I think I stepped through here once in a way that didn't teleport me away. If I'm misremembering, someone's going to have to... Nope, there it goes. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's just get out of here. Wait. Is it this simple? Was I just supposed to go down here the whole time? Sorry, Mr. Rat. Yes, it was this simple. Well, all's well that ends well. Here, Ceramid. Just gonna take what we can carry. At least as far as already minted gold is concerned. We might still have to gamble. Or I could go back through the... I could go to the mint. Okay. We're definitely covered now. I won't even take the gems. Jeweler's kind of a jerk. Wait, does this switch just give me an easy way through? Sure does. Perfect. And the other disappointing thing is that you get this running plot through the whole game of being ships passing in the night with Elizabeth and Abraham and the... Oh, for shame. Illegal gambling casino operators in the pirate world. This is true. This is very true. Oh well. Alright. Let's go make our purchase. Then I'll poke at those 2 side quests briefly. See if I can find anything. I'm not attached enough that I'm going to poke at them for a while. And then... Armageddon. So that's exciting. You spend the whole game just trying to track down this Elizabeth and Abraham. And then, when it all comes down to it, you meet them. They each say one line of pretty generic villain dialogue, and then you kill them in a 3-second chaotic melee like every battle in this game. Could have been a little bit better. A little bit better executed. In that regard. So I think like you can envision a game that does the same plot in a pretty similar way, except, you know, maybe like actually exposing the Fellowship is something you're trying to do, and then some combination of Batlin, Elizabeth, and Abraham keep foiling your plan to expose them by reframing actions and persuading Lord British and you know. I don't know. But at any rate, I mean, it's just not the game they were making. So it is what it is. I still do quite like the story. The writing remains quite good. I think that... Yeah, exactly. You share the same space with them many times. But by the time the first time you share the space with them and you can actually say some words back and exchange a few words, it's just... it's over before you know it. So yeah, I can see ways in which we could have done more with that, but that's still pretty cool. The writing is largely good. Oh yeah. No. We understand each other here. Someone. Am I too late? Too early? Too late, of course. Alright, Ceramide. What's the gold situation? 82 coins there. 60 coins there. Should have taken the gems, and we do still need more. We need Cynthia. I should have gambled, but I was mad at them for stealing my 36 coins of betting. I'm not even going to do the mental math to find out if keeping those 36 coins would have just solved this current problem I have. Alright, one last time. Let's stay at the inn and pause before we obliterate all those people from existence for all of time. There's no food where you're going, friend. There's also no hunger, so who's to say if it's good or bad? Yeah, the writing, like, there are plenty of RPGs today where you couldn't say every single NPC in the entire game has a distinct personality. But I think you can here. Everyone. They're all, even if they don't matter, even if the time you spend talking to them doesn't get you any closer to solving the quest, they are all there, and they all have their own thoughts and priorities, and that's cool. Alright. For the maximum number of hours, sir. Absolutely, Stimpinski.
Yes, my friend, rest and heal, so that you are strong and able to face the perils before you.
You can mock me all you want.
Dream.
You can purr into my ear with your soothing yet sinister voice all you want, Guardian. When I'm done, you're going to be the ruler over an ash heap. Well, we can't take it with us, so fine. Who's got the food? Let's eat. Do we even have enough food to eat? Maybe it's time for them to all just starve. Again, this is non-canon. We can do cruel things to the people we love, and we're not morally responsible for it. Somebody had food. Aha! Okay. Is it enough for everybody? Doesn't look like it. But hold on, we might have more. Or, if we don't, there's one other option. No, we do. We do. We're well stocked for food. Great. Can't remember who ate and who didn't, but they'll protest if I'm overfeeding them. There. Great. Good enough. And that is one way in which Ultima 6 and Ultima 7, I think, exceed Ultima 5. Ultima 5 went a big step beyond Ultima 4 by having some characters, even if they aren't necessarily that colorful, especially since, you don't see their faces, they don't have unique sprites or anything. But it still wasn't that flavorful. Like, they were fleshed out. You had some conversations, some of them had interesting things to say. Whereas Ultima 4, almost every person either just has one single thought about the virtue of the town or character class they represent, or they have a thought about who you could talk to find out about quest object X. Ultima 5 went beyond that, but 6 and 7 go further still. And largely in successful ways, although sometimes in goofy ways that I could take or leave. Like, there's a lot of Ultima 6 had, we just have, Chico Marx is a shopkeeper. And that kind of weird anachronism for me, fits better in the Quest for Glory games than it does here. Which is not to say that all the humor is bad. There was some excellent humor in this game, some very well executed jokes. I think my personal favorite in this game, funniest moment, for me at least, is the I should have known there was a way to get to Morphin stuff. Oh, of course. Can't open the bank just yet. After all, it's only... Oh, it's 8:32. Okay, fine. Fair enough. It is a little early for the bank to be open. I'll just take a nap in the dirt. And although it's ultimately not something I'm going to spend much time at all doing, they did do a fantastic job of creating a sandbox that people love to play in, even when they don't care about the quest, where they can just have fun, just messing around, seeing what you can do. And they allow the possibility of, say, doing what the CRPG addict did.
Yeah,
Hey, Slater.
rest and heal, so that you are strong and able to face the perils before you.
Oh, I'm ready. I am ready to face the perils before me, Guardian. Perhaps not in a way you might like. Yeah, I think my favorite joke was when you go to Moonglow, and then you talk to people, and they're all like, "Well, if you want to get to know about the townspeople of Moonglow, you should talk to our barkeeper. He loves to gossip." And everyone's telling you how much this guy loves to gossip. And then when you meet him, if you ask him about the townsfolk, you do indeed get like a huge list of keywords where you can ask him about everybody in town. And you ask him about everybody, and he's just like, "Nice guy. I really like him." He doesn't have a bad word to say about anybody, or even a detailed thing to say about anybody. I thought that was pretty funny. 50 gold coins. I think that gets the job done. Elsewise, I guess we shut the door, kill Cynthia. I have a hard time stomaching that. 82. 60. Well, I quite clearly did this to myself, so now let's go do the let's just go to pause. We'll get the we'll steal Morphin shit. Not saying I'm proud of it. Right, I just have to... do I have to do something to charge it up? I don't know. And hello, Spade. Do I need all 3 keys? Like, do I have to go to her house and... okay, no. Go to Morphin's place. If he's there, I will feel bad using the demon sword to annihilate him. But... it's non-canon. If Morphin's gone to lunch, he never picked a better time to go to lunch. Well, you know how much I hate picking up keys. She's got all 3? You know what? Alright, so, Morphin. Let's shut the door. And just in case this enrages my companions enough to kill me. I don't think that's how it works. I think they would just quit the team if they got too enraged. But... oh, gotta double click on it here. Hey, about your powers. Just the power of death? Okay, fine. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. It's not pretty. Oh, he's a member of the Fellowship. It's ethical. Okay. So the key is going to just be like under his blood bucket? Yeah. Been a while since he killed her. What? Why didn't that work? What? Is there more than one key? Is that just a regular lock? And the key is like to a chest? No. Ah, right. He doesn't live in his place of business. Okay. Well, I'm not saying it was admirable, but we have killed Morphin. Now let's go find his house and rob him. Aha! Excuse me, gentlemen. Please don't look me in the eye. Ah, Morphin. I'll miss the mutton. It'll be tough when I'm the last man in the world. Or one of them. Alright, well. No. The virtue of expediency is not one of the primary Britannian virtues, but nonetheless. Alright. Another thing to be said in praise, I think, of Ultimas 5, 6, and 7 is that I love keeping the whole world, and so always having the dungeons, but only Ultima 4 requires you to go to all 7 dungeons to complete the quest. Most of the dungeons were incidental in this game. Some of them I didn't even go to. There she is. I was like, are you kidding me? Well, there we go. 500 gold coins. Now we can end the world. I won't spend very long seeing if I can mess around with these 2 remaining quests, but I'll spend a few minutes. Especially in Terfin. In fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, I have no attachment at all to the Jalome quest. Something else I learned in the process of reading the CRPG Addicts blog posts and the associated comments sections for most of the Ultima 7 posts is a thing that I'm not going to try to create because it sounds really finicky. But apparently there's one spot in Lord British's like daily routine where while he's standing in the spot, if you double click on the like he's in a doorway or an archway, and if you double click on the thing, a tile will fall off him and kill him, which I guess is a reference to a real life incident where a piece of their offices of the fell off, and it's exactly at noon. That makes sense. And yeah, I think it's awesome to plan for those kind of things and code them in. Although then you think like, okay, for the sake of this weird, like this in-joke that means nothing to anybody else, that most people, unless they read about it, are never going to discover how to do anyway, to drop a shingle on Lord British and kill him. Yeah, all that work. You couldn't have also just like thought about how people might get to Penumbra without having met the Time Lord and worked in a dialogue option for that? For instance, But hey, at the same time, like compare this to most RPG plots, if not all, to date, and like how many are even could even be put in a conversation. Wait, no, Rudium, I'm sorry. Just spells. Rudium. I do kind of wish that you were like the reagent sellers used to be in Britannia, blind, so that I didn't have to look you in the eyes while I did this. But I would like to buy the Armageddon spell. I do find that agreeable. I do not want another spell. Goodbye. Never going to need another spell after that. That would make sense if, like, in the hint book or clue book, whatever they called them back then. That's the kind of thing that you put enough effort into it that you're like, we gotta give some kind of hint for this. Oh, well, nevertheless, I would ultimately say the same thing, just with the correct understanding of why I was saying it. Of course, you'd put a hint somewhere in the game if you went to all the work to code it so that people could discover it and be like, that's weird, why did they do this? Wait a minute. What happened to my magic carpet? Did I not, after all that, actually mark the stone to be updated? No. This is where I was with the carpet. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't need the carpet anymore. I said I don't care about the Geelong quest. I want to look at the Terfin quest. That's where I am. I do have a stone back to Britain. And I do think that probably most, if not all, of the exciting post-apocalypse action will be in Britain. That's certainly where Lord British will be. Okay, so can I work this out for myself? In my notes. Who's planning to sabotage the altars? I've got that, but of course, took vastly inferior notes to what I usually do. So let's just talk to the gargoyles. See if I can figure it out. If I can't, I can't. You know about Elizabeth and Abraham? You haven't seen them? That's great. Fellowship being altar conflicts? You don't understand. The altar is going to be destroyed. Three. Well, I know one of them for sure, and I immediately have formed a theory, but we'll see. We'll see. Which member should I talk to? Runeb, Sarpling, Quaven. Which one's Runeb? He's the clerk. Yeah, of course. I wrote that down. And Sarpling sells magics. And wait a minute, sell magics? He just said he's a fellowship member. Have they not talked to him about how he's not supposed to do that? And Quaven? Learning Center. Great. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Quan. It's not your fault. But you will cease to exist just like everybody else. Alright. You're one of my least favorite gargoyles, Runeb. Okay. Quaven and the magic shop one. So let's go to the rec center and talk to Quaven. This isn't the rec center, or if it is, he's in the back somewhere. I don't know. No. Okay. The rec center is a different thing from the trainer. That's fine. We'll go around. We'll click on lots of things. Healer. Not going to find a fellowship member in there. Recreation center. Here we go. Excuse me. You a saboteur of any kind? Hey, to possibly express happiness for your return. Yeah, being in the fellowship is great. So you needed the fellowship? So much so that you would sabotage the altars for them? Whose life are you bringing happiness to? Who do you want to convert? Sorry? Betra, the provisioner. Okay. You hear the voice? Your job is... Yeah. I can't ask him about it. Or I already did, and you only get one chance to ask him. I don't know. Alright. Where's the magic shop? Ultimately, if I get frustrated with this, I'll just end the world. Let off a little steam that way. What's this? The healer. Wait, does the healer also sell magic stuff? Hey, in Manulan. Dedev, thank you. Thank you. Happy Sunday to you as well. And I mean, I hope you had a good day on my birthday. So, happy belated my birthday to you. I'm happy to report to you, Thedev, that, excuse me. Hey, Betra. You know Quaven? It was on Thursday. Thedev, I did. Today, I am primarily just saying goodbye for now. I thought about it, and at first I thought I'd like to look into the Jalome quest I never finished and the Gargoyle one. And then I decided I don't care about the Jalome one. I'm gonna do the one here, and this is non-canon, of course, because we did just get the good ending last time, which is the one that we carry forward with us to Underworld 2. So we're gonna cast the Armageddon spell and see what happens. We're gonna push the big red button. But I'm happy to report that yesterday, Rilu Lari, the human thief with 13 decks and a sling, played a key role in our successful foray against the Orc Horde in Sokal Keep. So you really don't trust Sarpling, but hold on. Yeah. You have no evidence. Only 2 gargoyles could access them. You're one of them. Sarpling's the other. And where will I find Sarpling? Right. I was on to this. And Sarpling... I don't know. Which one is Sarpling? I mean, I don't know how the Armageddon part is going to play out, but if you're referring to whacking Lord British in the weird show up at noon, drop a thing on his head, I'm probably not going to do that, but I don't know. Right, Forbrack. Good to see you, Forbrack. Good guy, Dupre. I think it speaks well of any Britannian who is just liked by the gargoyles. Because the Britannians have not done a great job of being welcomers. Ah. Excuse me. What's your name, sir? Sarpling. You heard about the altar conflicts? Oh, you've heard nothing about it. Okay. Well. Hold on just a second here. I try that before you showed up, I did murder Morphin for expediency purposes. Yeah, I already knew that the Armageddon spell would kill him outright. Boom. Evidence. It's Runeb in conspiracy with Sarpling. This was not a difficult mystery to solve. I found this note when I was rooting through your stuff in your room. Oh, it was Runeb. Okay. So if I go to Runeb and I tell him that you gave up the goods on him, he's going to say, oh, yeah, of course. Hold on. Wait. Let's back up here. There's an assassination plot? Well, I do, actually. By the time I asked you, because you had just told me about it. But I didn't before you told me. You have brought much trouble. Oh, Runeb wanted to frame Quan so he could take over the Fellowship. Then he'd kill Quan if it failed. Okay. I don't think we're in that much danger. I'm extremely good at killing people, Sarpling. I feel kind of silly that I didn't just solve this. Which one are you again? Yeah, you're Quan. Excuse me, Runeb. Heard about this altar destruction plot that you were behind? Oh, geez. Well, listen. I'm not saying that Sarpling is the most admirable gargoyle I ever met, but he's good enough that I like him better than you. So it's not going to work. Oh, you need to kill me. So I don't even get to talk about the other plot of yours that I've foiled. Meanwhile, Quan's out here. Hope you have a nice day. I just killed. No? Okay. Don't worry about it, Quan. Sorry about the mess. If I tell Sarpling that he's in the clear now, will he feel good? Hey, Sarpling. Hey, found this note. No. Well, okay. So there's an assassination plot? Ah, I see someone. Thank you. I'm not invested enough in the Jalome plot to have wanted to bother to do that. But I like the gargoyles, so I'm glad that I could help them with their problem. Yeah. Quan is Quan is see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. He's like, all right. He's such a trusting guy. He's just like, I know, to know you would not have done that without a good reason. Okay. I'm glad that you feel that level of faith in me. Okay. Can anybody congratulate me? Hey, Quaven. No. To have ain't seen shit. To have seen some sad shit. Runab here said he couldn't take the pain anymore. Took himself out of the game. Okay. Hey, your mom. You're just in time for the main event. I wanted to resolve this one quest, and I did, and it was not difficult. When can we rest? Oh, very soon and for a very long time, my dear. I did. I had a great time. It was very nice to see my friends. You know what? I did the right thing because it was the right thing to do. I don't need anybody's congratulations. Let's destroy the world. Now, time's come. Jeez, feeling a little shaky. Okay, Shamino, get out your rune bag. We have to go to Britain on very urgent business. Don't ask me what it is. Just need you to trust me. Trust me that this is all non-canon, I promise, Shamino. It's just like that time you got cut in half by Blackthorn, and then I loaded the save. Non-canon. I wouldn't really let anything bad happen to you, buddy. Alright. The Avatar's gotta, smooth out his palate. Get ready. Right. When the spell has a lot of syllables, you want to make sure you say them right. Vas Kal Mani in Corp Hur Tym. Vas Kal Mani in Corp Hur Tym. Vas Kal Mani in Corp Hur Tym. Could you? Could you? You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, whoever just said that, because you reminded me why, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad to just say, Vas Kal Mani in Corp Hur Tym. Well, we've done what we've done. Oh no, I was like, at least it stopped the friggin' Rule Britannia music cue. No such luck. But yeah, wow, jeez. This thing's running like I imagine Ultima VIII might in its best moments. I really thought maybe all the bodies would disappear. It's way grimmer this way. They didn't disappear, but perhaps all of their pockets have fused into their legs? Okay. 3 people alive. Like I said, I have my theories, and I know one of them. But where is he? He's not in his throne. Is he in his bedroom? Oh man, I gotta listen to this shit for myself. Well, I guess if I go to the kitchen, I can probably get some food. I think the apparently, I'm gonna go on a limb and say endless storm. It's pretty cool. All right, there's Lord British, just sitting, contemplating. Is there food in here? You know what? I could use a drink. Could use a couple. Okay. Could have poured that wine into a fine glass. Alright. Death in the nursery. Yeah, you can't even toss the bodies. That's the level of apocalypse we're dealing with here. Don't want to make bread even now. It did. One of those wacky, inexplicable pirates. You know what? I bet if I go to the tavern, I can find some food after this. Oh, wow. But no food? Wait, hold on. A musket? I think it literally erased the baby. No, the babies are here. I don't know. I can't tell if that baby is alive. If it is, it's having a great nap. I don't think I want to think about it anymore. All right. Lord British, can you see how you played a role in all of this by letting Britannia get so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore? Let's find out. Fool! What possessed thee to cast that damned Armageddon spell? I knew it was dangerous. Thou didst know it was dangerous. Now look at us. We are all alone on the entire planet. Britannia is ruined. What kind of avatar art thou? What kind of avatar am I? One who's had enough of this shit. Now with no moon gates working, we are both forced to spend eternity in this blasted wasteland. It's interesting to me, Lord British, that I exterminated all life, and that is the real thing that's resonating with you here. He's like, man, look how bored I'm going to be now that I can't even leave and I have no one to boss around. Of course, it could be viewed as a clever solution to all our problems. I'm sorry. Are you kidding me? Here's my interpretation based on knowing nothing except what you've said and what I've seen here and there. Whether or not it was intended or that's the way it's supposed to be, I think it's the right interpretation, because even if it just happened for some other reason in the game engine, we should still this game world wants us to use our imaginations and imbue it with even more life than it has on its own. Even more life, he says. Now, when there is not really all that much life left. Okay. Yeah, that thought had occurred to me, although I am surprised to hear your... Okay, you know what? Weird. And that's it. No, cool conversation. Just yet another moment where we go, Lord British, come on. What happened to the days when you were apparently just great? Yeah, I guess we've won. This guy here. Okay. Need me to stand? Are you next to him? Okay. Here, Lord British. You want to have a staring contest now that it's just you and me? Gotta be very careful here not to commit suicide with the death blade. Yes! I have long sought the end of Lord British, my traitorous master. For a second I thought he was saying Lord British was his traitorous master, and I was like, hold on, what? But no, he's talking to me. I'm a traitor because I'm killing Lord British, along with all other life. James, for what reason art thou brandishing that black sword in my presence? it was all the really, really narcissistic shit you just said after I killed everybody else. If you'd said anything about how you were sad that the other people were dead, it wouldn't have come to this. The daemon responds using your mouth. Oh, wow. This blade is thy doom. You spit the words. Oh, you spit the words. Lord British. Lord British looks truly taken aback. His eyes narrow calculatingly. What foul treachery is this? You find yourself unable to respond, and your muscles are clenching as if to lash out with the wicked blade in your hand. Perhaps when thou art sitting in a dungeon, thy tongue will loosen. Guards! Boom. Decapitated our sovereign. Lord British's last will and testament. Being of sound mind and body, I hereby bequeath all of my belongings to Nell, my beloved chambermaid. She has kept me warm so many nights, which is more than I can say for most of my bloody subjects. And to our unborn child, ooh, rough news about that, Lord British. I bequeath my crown. Long live the king or queen, whichever it shall be, Lord British. All right. I think probably, even though broadly speaking, it seems pretty obvious that and I can't see how Richard Garriott wasn't in on the joke, that, you know, there was a conscious choice as the Ultima games went on to kind of poke fun at or make the character of Lord British suckier, perhaps in a way of just being like, you know, I'm not the most ridiculous dude. Like, I don't need to have created my avatar within this game to be the best dude ever. He's not perfect. He can be flawed and have foibles and misjudge the gargoyles and let the fellowship, you know. But I do think probably we're supposed to interpret all of this Armageddon and murdered him stuff as not canon. Like that Lord British is just so contemptuous of all his subjects secretly and all that. I'd like to think that even with the many ways in which he's maybe not a great leader, he's still better than that. Okay. I have a second idea. If there are 3 folks alive. Oh, man. My third idea. Okay. This one seems like a slam dunk if... Let's find it. Yep, okay. Excuse me, Batlin? Batlin's eyes narrow to red slits as he peers practically through you. Oh, damn it. Well, we'll run this back real quick. Especially because I realized a complication here. So we got to end the world again, which is, you know, really doubling down. But we're going to get rid of the cube. Yes, that's one part of the scheme here. The other part is, Shimino, you've done a great job carrying these. Okay, fine. These are the ones that I really care about. Hey. Well, it's not pretty, but we got to do it again. End the world. Destroy our sovereign. And hopefully have a more interesting conversation with good old Batlin, who you'd think would be a little less freaked out that I have the cube if there's nobody left. Alright, it's been real, folks. Just for, you know, for the sake of being thorough. Wait a minute. That's right. We haven't even destroyed the generator. Okay, so hold on. Lord British doesn't necessarily just sit stunned at his breakfast table there. It doesn't matter. I don't need to kill him again. Okay, we've gotten rid of the cube. There are supposedly 3 people alive, and I know 2 of them now. Sorry, team. He's very fond of all of you. Ah. Well, you know. In our hearts, we know he's really dead. Ah. Okay. Batlin looks at you, and his gaze returns to the Armageddon winter storm. Many years ago, Avatar, I went to Scarbray, the ghost city. The way the world is now reminds me of that dead place. In Scarbray, I had a spiritual experience so profound that I have never spoken to it, to another soul. I'll come up with something. I'll save again. Oh, yes. He's never spoken of it to another soul. I would like to share that experience with thee now, Avatar. This, frankly, is much more interesting than the Lord British dialogue. There at Scarbray, I saw a man who was called the Tortured One. I asked this dead man, pray tell, what is the answer to the question of life and death? He gave me no reply, and I asked him again. I beseeched him to impart some small parcel of wisdom upon me. What is the answer to the question of life and death? He said nothing, but in his eyes. In his eyes I could see, Avatar, that he could not answer me, for there was no answer to give. No answers to the questions of life and death. It was then that I understood no meanings, no virtues, no values. I commend the Avatar for reaching that same liberating illumination. Yeah. I could have once again, wouldn't mind having a conversation about this stuff with this jerk. Yeah, it's like we said. We should. Yeah, that I really like that because that feels like an actual revelation. The Lord British stuff felt like jokes. Like, wow, this guy is absurdly self-centered. He's the in-game avatar of our boss, and he's supposed to be the greatest immortal ruler of all time. So what? Yeah, let's have him just be absurd, just a complete asshole, and have the wrong reaction to the end of the world. And then you kill him, and you find out, oh, also I knocked up my maid, but I was never going to tell anybody or let her not be the chambermaid anymore. I don't think that stuff's real. This is actually, it locks in with everything. That it's the part that he obviously left out because he never told a soul. He never even told Elizabeth and Abraham. But when you read his spiritual journey in the manual, go figure. What he actually realized is nothing friggin' matters. So I should just come up with a way to take advantage of these shitty people. And then that happened to, somewhere along the way he met the Guardian. Alright. At any rate, Batlin, I don't like how you were bad for my reputation, so... Alas, master, this one is protected by a power greater than mine. His destiny lies elsewhere. On the Serpent Isle, I guess, except why is he going to give there? Why is he going to go there? What's his motivation? Okay, too damn. I have a theory. Don't know if it's right. Either way, we should grab bite to eat. Hey, farmer's market.
You had best not do that, Avatar.
Yes, that was definitely the morally questionable action that I've undertaken recently. That was the one that demanded the Guardian was like, "Oh man, you're not even gonna leave some gold on the table? I better say something about this." When I obliterated the entire world that he wanted to take over, he's just like, "Hey, you win some, you lose some." All right, we have one more person to find. Yeah, maybe that's just it. He's like, well, geez, I certainly don't want to be cooking. My first job was in the mall, and on the occasions where I either had to be there early, so I was there before the mall opened, or I was getting out when the mall was closed, I did sometimes think, like, man, like, not so much do whatever I want, but the specific thing that I thought of was this would be a great place for like a big laser tag game or something, which actually I think is only half true. The downside, of course, is that the varied environments are all then enclosed. So like everywhere you go, you cut yourself off to only one egress route. No, they didn't feel great when we murdered Morphin. But they didn't feel that bad. They were like, "Do we have to?" And I was like, "Just trust me." And they were like, "All right, yeah, you're the Avatar." Might have been some classism. Yeah, they might have done that. Like, certainly, like, you know, Britannia is a degraded place now. They could have been like, "Oh, whatever, he's a criminal. Who cares? Due process, what?" And you're the Avatar. The best guy should surely be allowed to execute anybody for any crime. Alternately, they might have been thinking... we learned that, you know, there's class division in this age of Britannia. So perhaps they... Perhaps they were just like, you're just from Pause. Okay. So I'm looking for a third person still alive. We know it's not Chuckles. I did have a theory. Don't tell me if I'm wrong, someone. I'll find out soon enough. No, this is not who I'm thinking, but I gotta remember. My thought here is, could it be the other, you know, if Lord British had a powerful enough soul to survive, could King Draxinusum? It's not looking good. I don't know how I'd recognize his body though. So I don't. How do I know when to stop searching? If the Time Lord has reactions, I can't get them because Dupre had the thing when... Right, he would, wouldn't he? Ah, yes. Wait, no. Yeah? 2 nobles, at any rate. Not looking promising for our liege. To be not looking promising for our liege, sorry. Oh, free grub. Ah, jeez. Don't want to gorge myself. Make a spectacle of myself eating all the time. Huh. Yeah, it feels like, it should take multiple thefts to turn them on you. And really just a single random murder. Okay, so it looks like it's not Ataraxia. At this point, I'm willing to be told, no, it is. You just haven't looked hard enough. What was this? Place. That's such a funny oversight in the code. They absolutely hate stealing, but they don't mind being made accessory to stealing. Why did we come in here again? Not just now, but like we've been here before. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So it's not Ataraxia. That's it. They're like, oh, I'm implicated now. If I point one finger at the avatar, I'll be pointing 3 fingers back at myself. Okay, northwest. This is not a house. This is the place. This is a small little place. Although now, the fact that you're trying to direct me to his house makes me think maybe I was on with it. Or maybe not. No, wait. Keep looking north, keep looking west. Okay. There's been a little bit of accent talk over the past couple weeks, largely related to my extreme Atlantic Canadianness. And someone, if you had not told me you were from the UK, it's not him. If you had not told me you were from the UK, I would know specifically by the way that you say use was. Like, it's that place he was just in. Exactly. Like that street song, When You Wasn't Famous. Or actually also many, many other examples from British popular culture that I'm familiar with. Okay, so it's not him. The fact that the what's it called, has ceased to exist is problematic. But actually no, I'm not stymied yet. Because I believe my ship is still in Britain. So, let's recall once more. Might as well, make the most of this apocalypse. It's an awkward reminder of that terrible thing I did to my friends and to everyone I ever loved and to everyone I ever hated and to everybody else. Oh, here's my carpet. Hooray! I can. Okay. Third character, don't need any transport. Let me think then. Let me think. I do not have a good lead, personally. So I'm going to try something. Oh, wait. Who cares, Avatar? Land unsafely. Are you that worried? The literal worst case scenario is just that you die. And this eternal loneliness is at an end. And you're freed from the task of figuring out what to have for dinner every day. For the rest of eternity. But okay, I was on the carpet thinking to fly. It's like, what if Nicodemus is just there I was thinking Nicodemus, but then when I landed there, the revelation had occurred to me. I think I've got it. I think I know what character would still be alive. Ha! Cowboys Corp. I told you I would be here until the end of eternity. Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing how I've kind of made that even suckier. Hey. Because now you're just here. You're not even going to get to chit-chat with people. What's your name? You're the ferryman. I knew that. And your job is also to be the ferryman? Yeah. So you're the ferryman. Yeah, Mr. Channel. Take me across Mr. Channel? Yeah. Anything much to say? No. Yes. Don't even have the 1 coin. Okay. Hold on, buddy. Can't think of a better place to end this, It's, yeah, they could have given him a little more, but at least he had something. And it's a real nice touch to write the gag line for Batlin. Not gag line for Batlin, the gag lines for British. Oh no, I missed my own reference just now. Unless when you explain it to me, it's so clever that I feel the need to lie and be like, no, I did mean that, I did. What am I running around for? Oh yeah, to steal 1 coin. Probably easiest in somebody's home. Oh, right. Right. I knew that. I've heard of that song, but I'm not sure that I've heard it, so I shall. I will listen to that tonight. Oh, come on. Sentry, you didn't save a single dollar from all that training? There we go. Ah. Well. Oh, hey, you know what? Don't need any of this junk anymore. Especially not this Ankh of Virtue. This is not the virtuous version of the Avatar. This is the Avatar that, certainly don't care what time it is. For all intents and purposes, time has ceased to be. In any way that it could matter. Oh. What? I thought that Sentry was the one I was constantly dueling with. I wouldn't say it makes Batlin a sympathetic character, but it does... It textures him. Like, he was already a pretty good... he was a good villain. But he was a villain that was just like, well, why did he do all this stuff? And then the idea that the same quest that we went on to find the answers of life. When we found out there were no answers, we were just like, oh yeah, of course there aren't. You gotta live. When he found out, he was like, this sucks. Forget it. I hate this. It's nice and dark. Wait, did I stop carrying my bedroll around after all this? I was going to... Oh, you know what? There's going to be a bed somewhere here. We can sleep forever. Sleep till we starve. Oh, I probably just dumped the bedroll when I was clearing up space, didn't I? Well, again, doesn't matter. One of these homes must... I killed the ghost. The ghosts are dead? Oh, there's no bed. You know what? Doesn't matter. We don't need to actually lay down to sleep in a bed. Or anywhere. In fact, I know exactly where to go. It's easy to get careless when you've obliterated all life. Trapped yourself with no one to talk to but Batlin and Lord British. And the personification, the ferryman, Charon, for all eternity. Okay. Oh, so hoping. Oh, of course, it can't stay dark, but that's it. Yeah, perfect. I was thinking, I'll just, I'm the Avatar. I'll sit by this altar forever. At least I'll be warm. But no, this is it. Okay. What I needed to do there... Hold on. If we're going to pull this off, if we're going to get the effect... Oh, no, that's the answer. This is it. Well, let's try a different bed, actually. You need a little bit of variety. Even at the end of the world. So far.
Yes, my friend, rest and heal, so that you are strong and able to face the perils before you.
That's not what's happening here, my dear guardian. Okay. Oh, hey. Hey, everyone's got 1 hit point left. Is this ever going to happen?
Yes, my friend, rest and heal, so that you are strong and able to face the perils before you. Pleasant dreams.
Do you need food yet, Avatar? Does hunger just break forever? Hold on. If I run around for a bit, will I say I must have food? The Avatar is going through the same thing I am now. Where he's ended the world. And now he doesn't know what to do with himself. He thought, I'll just sleep till I starve to death. Now he discovers he's not hungry. Oh, wait. Which gives one the feeling that... Oh, that works. Okay, good. This is... Curious about this. When do we eat? Well, just waiting for the food to stop cooking. I can't be killed. I was curious what could possibly happen when you die, given that they didn't even code in an alternate dialogue for when it makes no sense for Elizabeth and Abraham to have found you. It's like, what can possibly happen? Turns out they were just like, hey, you can't die anymore, which is perfect for this non-canonical branch of our Avatar's quest, where he became exasperated with the foibles of the Britannians and put an end to the world. the perfect ending is him hopping into the flames and just being like, why won't it? Why do the flames burn but not consume? And then he can stand there forever. He's the new tortured one. Perfect. All right. I said that I was thinking I might want to, after playing around with this, seeing it to this particular end, that I might want to dig in for a little more Adventures of Lola 3. Thank you, Spade. I'm glad you liked it. Really? That's interesting. Someone. The fact that there's just a real game over that you can get at the start. So interesting how many things they did think of and then the things that they didn't. And just, yeah, ultimately, this has been wonderful. Well, so I'm not going to play Lola 3 today because I think actually there's some life stuff that could use my attention. So maybe ending a little early today is okay. Here's what's coming up. It's not exactly that, your mom. What I try to do in between Ultimas is take a little break. And so, starting next week, we are going back to Quest for Glory. I'm going to do... So, okay. Quest for Glory 2 took me, a month. I read about that, someone, in the course of reading the comments in the CRPG blog posts. Or maybe you just told me. One of those. Oh, they're so good, your mom. I'm quite enjoying the series. I'm through the first two, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do 3. Absolutely, Spade. Absolutely. And please do not feel like you cannot self-promote. Is that on your Twitch, or do I need to find it somewhere else? It might have been you, someone. It might have been... Where else would I have got that? I mean, CRPG blog comments. Those are the two possibilities. So it was either you or someone there. But yeah, so I'm probably going to do Quest for Glory 3 and 4, and then I'm going to think about whether I want to face 5 now or whether I want to come back to that after. And then, before we can go to Ultima 8, if we're going to do the story right, we got to do Ultima Underworld 2. Okay. All right. I'm going to watch that. And I'm looking forward to it. Black Gate speedrun, 20 minutes. Easy. Probably can't do that tonight because, like I said, there's some stuff. But I can definitely do it real soon. And I'm excited to see how fast this can be done. And, yeah. So then Ultima Underworld 2. And then I'll do something for a Britannia or a break between there. I really enjoyed Underworld 1. So I'm looking forward to Underworld 2. And then we'll go to Ultima 8. And then we'll go to Ultima 9. And then we'll go to Akalabeth. Ultimas 1 through 3. I've never streamed Ultima 4 before, and I'll eventually do that. Yeah, Cedric. We're getting... Yeah. So far, the general theme of this stream, or particularly this channel, at least as far as me playing games on the weekend, has been me going back and having amazing experiences playing the things I always wanted to check out and never really got the chance to at the time. And then for a little while there, at least on Sundays, we're going to have a totally different version of going back and checking out the things I didn't check at the time. I've only played the first two. I've played both the original of the first one and the SVGA remake. And I've played the second one, which has no remake. And now I'll be playing 3 and at least 4 and probably 5 just because, gotta get it done. But I don't know. I also do get the Ultima itch pretty quick, so I might be back to Underworld before we know it. And yeah, so then I'm going to come around, I'm going to close the loop, and having done that, well, at the very least, there's the 2 Worlds of Ultima games, which I've never played, spin-offs of Ultima 6. There are the Game Boy Ultima Runes of Virtue games. There's a lot of Ultima. We got lots of Ultima ahead of us, for better and for worse, which I'm excited for both, ultimately. It's going to be cool. It's going to be quite a ride. And I'll be more than happy, very, very happy to have any of you folks along with it, as I have been so far and as I will continue to be. But yeah, little T-Tour away from Ultima for a little bit, and then we have one last time to spend in Britannia, except it won't be Britannia in really the same way. Doesn't just feel like it, as I'm sure you know. It is. Ultima? I don't know. What is it? Like, in the fullness of time, I'll check out a lot of different things if they're Ultima adjacent. Someday I want to play the much less sung RPG, The Magic Candle, which has a lot of similarities to the Ultima 4, Ultima 5 style. I was going to make a joke. Your mom, I was going to make a joke about Nissan as a car maker, thinking in my mind that also there was separately some kind of indie developer known as Nissan. So I missed the joke by thinking I was ahead of it and actually being behind it. How about that? This has been just a wild ride with Ultima 7. I could not possibly claim that I've enjoyed every minute of it, because we did have that day with the cube generator crashes, but I enjoyed most of the minutes, and I think that it will stick around with me. And I'm looking forward to a little bit of not the same Britannia, but whatever we get in Underworld 2. And then I'm interested to see what happens when we go somewhere that's not Britannia. I've looked at the map of the Serpent Isle. There's a town called Monitor. That's an interesting name. I don't know anything else about that game, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all of it. On down the road. So hey, for the rest of this week, I believe my buddy Greg will be here on Tuesday, doing the clearest indication that I've not really forged a coherent brand identity for my Twitch channel, because me and my buddy Greg play beat-em-ups, and we're going to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System via the Cowabunga collection on Switch. Come Friday, fingers crossed, we're in a tricky position where we ended halfway through a scenario, so we need all 4 players back on deck to continue, but hopefully that happens just this Friday. And we play Friday Night Frosthaven together, and we're going to retire our first character when we finish that scenario. Win or lose, the Blinkblade shall retire. Must have food. The hunger is getting worse. Maybe the Avatar will finally starve to death while we sit here. But I think I actually just can't die, which is more appropriate for where we are in the story, so to speak. And then next Saturday, we've blown the I choose that of, and I knowing you, I'm sure it was intended in a kind way anyway, but I will take that as a compliment. That I can derive amusement from things that normal people, even normal classic RPG fans, find archaic and boring. Next Saturday, we have blown things wide open in Pool of Radiance, by which I mean that I beat the Orc in Sokal Keep, which I still need to go in the room they were guarding, but I bet there's not a harder fight there, which means I bet I've cleared Sokal Keep, which means I bet I can turn in that commission, which means I bet I'll get a ton of experience, which means the party will get better, which means maybe we can fight the trolls and ogres, which means maybe we can clear the slums, which means maybe we're through the opening leg of the journey, and the world's going to open up to us. We're going to keep enjoying the satisfying character progression of first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it was, but thank you. And then Sunday, like I said, Quest for Glory 3, Wages of War. I don't know the name of, I can't recall the name of the kingdom we're going to. I know that it is African themed, which is cool. That's a novel setting for a late 80s, early 90s adventure game or RPG. It would be a novel setting now. So cool. I'm looking forward to that, and on to the future. We'll be back playing Ultima before you know it. That's awesome. This has been great. This whole thing. So hey. With inflation, could be even $250 by now. Yeah. Alright, hey. Well, I solved most of the world's hunger. Hey, Virtue of Sacrifice. I've concentrated all of the world's hunger right in myself. What a guy. Virtuous to the last. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. You came and you left, you can't hear my voice. And I mean you came and you left at any point during this Ultima VII journey. And you left, you can't hear my voice, but I'm really glad you stopped by, so thanks for stopping by. And until the next time that we meet again in a different land, in a different place, take care of yourselves. And be kind to everyone you meet.